So I'm gonna go ahead and react to this situation with the Pop Smoke killer doing the interview on No Jumper, saying he pretty much didn't regret or he doesn't feel sorry for what happened and the events that led to Pop Smoke's death, which was some type of armed robbery struggle, and he was shot and killed. All right, let's play it.
A little bit of weakness, people are going to use that against you.
Let me clear that. I'm not sorry about nothing. You know, it should never happen, but I ain't sorry. Feel me? Like, if I could go back, I'll go back. But I ain't sorry. Like, niggas die every day. Like, he was rapping about it. All type of shit. So I ain't sorry about it, but I send my condolences to the family, and I wish it never happened. But
So do you regret going to the Airbnb that night?
I don't regret nothing, but I wish I never had either.
But when you say you're not sorry, well, you just seems like you're acting like this is just the circle of life. This is how it happens.
No, it's not. I'm not making this small thing. It's just
So it's kind of confusing in the sense that he kind of essentially said he says I'm not sorry for it, but he also said that he kind of implies that he wish didn't happen. I don't know if that's just trying to clean it up for the interview, or you know what I'm saying, but it's kind of like he was saying he's kind of saying he I don't regret it, but I do, in a sense. And it's a real confusing statement to me. I mean, I get it. You got to stand on your actions. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't run from them. I mean, but at the same time, you could. I mean, either you either you feel bad for your actions or you don't. There's no I feel bad, but then there's like some type of duality thing going on where people think that there's a devil on one shoulder and an angel on another. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the vibe I'm getting where it's kind of like he doesn't want to apologize for it, but he's trying to somewhat come off as kind of remorseful. But in the end, it's gonna come off as totally unremorseful. It's like he's giving condolences to the family and all of that. That's also part of who is victimized, the families. Um, and then it's a back and forth to where the person who gets incarcerated, they're usually gone for a long time. And I don't know the details of his case, how he's out that quick. I mean, is that what they're talking about as far as they're not tough on crime? I mean, we'll cry about how tough they are on crime, and then it's just we don't try to even fix the causation of why there's a high incarceration rate. We just, we don't tend to look inward. We tend to want others to fix our issues, and we refuse to take the accountability that it takes to make a change. And it's so confusing. Like, it's so many arguments that people will make one argument that actually contradicts the other argument. Just like your argument competes against itself. It's it's always somebody else's fault or the environment or something like that. I can never be accountable. And that's prevalent at a young age. A lot of people, it takes them a long time to learn accountability. And I'm gonna keep going.
I don't know. Growing up, my my people, my family told me you ain't sorry for shit. Like, whatever you did it for a reason, and stand on it. So it's like, yeah.
That was a senseless thing where it was coveting somebody else's fortune, and then in the end, they lost their life because they also, maybe should have uh, had a better sense of self preservation. You know, uh, You know, we're not going to blame the victims here or, you know, or nothing like that. But it's like, we know what's going on out in these streets. It's nothing new. So you know, you still have to move accordingly to, you know, have a sense of self-preservation. And sometimes it's not worth, you know, the fame of the appearance of fame and fortune. You know, it will draw the attention sometimes in a negative way. Let's keep going.
I did it, but it wasn't like we all went to go do that. So start making me feel like, so I feel like people need to start making me feel like I got something to like I owe something to somebody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, like, for example, if I was driving home later and I hit somebody with my car and they died,
See, he seems kind of conflicted, but at the same time, it's the refusal to take accountability. At this point, it seems like he's already out. There's no double jeopardy or anything like that. So it's no reason to, you know, kind of downplay it. Like you could say, man, I made a stupid mistake. I wasn't thinking right. You know, I wasn't in the right place. You know, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. You can say those things. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not gonna hurt your street credibility. I mean, at this point, it's already, man, it's already like they went to go do that in the hopes of, I guess, gaining some type of temporary riches, but that doesn't solve any problems. You still have to eat, live, have to pay for housing, clothing, you name it. So that didn't relieve any situation on you at all. And if anything, it made it harder, because who wants to employ someone with that type of crime over their head, or that type of lack of remorse? You know, it's like it's I'm not gonna say he won't ever be able to get a job anywhere, but it's limiting. It doesn't help. It doesn't help our situation, the things that we do sometimes. And we think that it's cool, our culture, or, you know, and we think that rap music is our culture, hip hop. It's, you know, it's what's hip. It's hip trends, you know, and it's our culture is really like American culture. Rap music is American culture. America was founded by violence with the gun, you know, so that's more akin to the culture that we're practicing. And it's not fair for us to say that this is black culture. This, you know, it's not black culture. It's prevalent among many of our black youth, but this is not how our grandparents, you know, they didn't live like this. So it wasn't their culture. This is something that we think is hip, it's trending. And so we hop on the trends, hip hop. So, you know, let's be realistic out here, y'all.
it's not like I did anything to go out of my way to make that happen. That is just kind of part of what happens when you drive cars, is that at some point somebody's going to get hit, somebody's going to die, but I would still feel horrible about it. Go out of my way at all.
Yeah, you're right. Horrible. Yeah. That's a better word for it. Yeah, I feel horrible for it. I feel horrible for participating in the whole situation. Like,
That's remorse.
That's a better word, man.
That's the definition of
I
remorse.
just can't tell nobody I feel sorry. And like, even like when I got released, I read to the judge. I read a whole like, what you call that?
So let's look at the dictionary.
When you